Hey everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us today on Comics from the Future. This is the show we do every single Friday where we are going to preview and show you what is newly releasing in the comic book world. My name is Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with infinityfluxcomics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
In case you couldn't tell, we're all triplets today. Yes, we're super excited. Our brand new shirts with our brand new logo design are here. I literally just picked them up from the printer, made Jason and Andy change into them so that we could show them off. So we're really excited. Just right in front of Free Comic Book Day, we have these available. We also want to make them available to our people who watch us on YouTube. So they're $25 per shirt. If you would like one, let us know in the comments. $6 for shipping. And we got all these colors.
Yep.
So yeah, tripleting it today. So anyway, really excited to have them, and we're excited that you are watching today's show with us. All right, so
without further ado, let's get to the comics. So we're going to begin with this week's featured comics available to order.
Yeah, it's another medium week, but I'm very happy to kick it off with this one that I've been looking forward to since it was announced. This is AQUAMAN Andromeda #1. This is a black label Aquaman book. And you can tell by the cover, it's pretty creepy. So this is by Ram V, the art's done by Christian Ward, and it's supposed to be a psychological thriller with some like Lovecraftian cosmic elements thrown in there, which sounds really cool for Aquaman. It really fits. But in this, it says Aquaman will be pushed to his limit, and Black Manta is out trying to find a lost location or a mythical location called Point Nemo, where there's a ton of crashed ships and submarines, kind of your Bermuda Triangle. But of course, there's more there than just wrecked ships. Maybe some kind of cosmic horror lies dormant in this place. So sounds really cool. This is, and they say like this is an adult Aquaman story. So I'm interested to see like how scary are they willing to make this. But I'm on board. I'm very excited about this. I believe it is. Yeah, it's a 3-issue miniseries. And this is in that black label Prestige Plus format, so it's going to be magazine sized. But very excited. Sounds really, really cool. This is our A cover, the Christian Ward main cover, and then we have the BRYAN HITCH variant. The Aquaman with a very interesting organic looking suit in this as well.
this is you, Jason.
It's not marked as me.
Uh-oh.
So who knows about this
It's
one?
Andy!
This is just in time for the new movie coming up very soon. This is Jane Foster Thor. So this is a 5-issue miniseries. With the show coming out or the movie coming out, it's very good timing to kind of reintroduce people to Jane Foster as she wields Mjolnir in the Marvel Universe. I believe, this is a 5-issue miniseries. And we'll see going forward. I have a feeling that regular Thor Odinson and Jane Foster may end up being both Thor after this.
So is this series set in the past, or is this
I
current?
believe it's current.
Okay.
I believe it's current. Something's going to happen where Jane Foster gets the Thor abilities back. So yeah, sounds really cool.
You're predicting a Daredevil situation where you got your two Daredevils.
Why not? I mean,
right?
Could be really cool.
Yeah.
And then this is the Stormbreakers variant. Very cool. And of course, a Peach MOMOKO variant. Her hammer looks very small in that. It's more like a meat tenderizer.
Okay, so here is a new horror series. It's a mini-series by James Tynion. It's called The Closet. And you can tell a lot off the cover, okay? Dark colors, kid by themselves. It doesn't look like a parent is nearby watching their safety. We all remember when we were kids, The Closet had monsters in it, scary things. And James Tynion likes to write about scary things.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't heard, he does Something is Killing the Children and House of Slaughter and all that. So that is generally your premise here. There is a father, his name is Tom, and he's moving his family across the country, which can already be scary. As a kid, I got moved several times. That's traumatic. I don't know if Tynion went through that. This might be sort of autobiographical. But What probably is not autobiographical is that the kid keeps discovering monsters under his bed and in the closet. But it says this solicitation is weird because it says he keeps them. So I don't know if they're like tormenting him or if they're maybe like trying to lure him to the dark side or what. It's very dodgy as to what it's about. But I think the main draw really is everyone knows Tynion writes a good horror story. I'm surprised it's just a 3-issue miniseries. I'm surprised they didn't beg him to do just another ongoing series. So the art is by Gavin Fullerton. And so we just have the one cover on this too.
It's a very non-James Tynion to have a short series, no variant covers. Feels like he had a very definitive thing he wanted to say with this.
I'll tell you what the scariest monster he could find in that closet is. R. Kelly.
Uh,
Moving on. Trapped in there.
Okay, next up is our lead-in to the next big DC event. This is Justice League Road to Dark Crisis. So they do these on occasion before a big event that kind of lets you know what's the current status quo of the DC universe. So we're about to get tomorrow, Free Comic Book Day. There is the Dark Crisis number 0. And if you know anything about what's been going on with Justice League are dead, and this is, you know, who is going to fill in that space. So this is going to be a oversized issue that is going to see, Jonathan Kent. It's going to see Yara Flor. It's going to see Jace Fox. How are they taking up the mantle of the Justice League? Do they even work well together? So this is going to be separate writers and artists, kind of exploring all those characters and the villains that are going to rise up with the absence of a main Justice League to take them on. So we have people like Brandon Thomas, Joshua Williamson, Chuck Brown, Philip Kennedy Johnson. We also have artists like Dan Jurgens, Chris Burnham, and so much more. It sounds like it would be a really cool thing. So if you're planning on reading Dark Crisis, I say this will be a good one to pick up just to prime you for that. And it's 48 pages, so plenty of story.
Yeah, and if you think you know what's going to happen as far as this new Justice League because you've read Future State and you remember all that, there'll be some surprises for you. It's not that simple.
And there is a really cool, this is the Chris Burnham variant with Pariah on there, reading comics.
Yeah, with a whole collection.
That's cool.
He's got a whole collection.
That's neat.
If you look down there, he's got Final Crisis, issue 1, I believe. So he's reading through the other crises.
I will admit, I have bought collections big enough where I've kind of built a comic throne momentarily, while I was going through. So this is familiar to me.
He needs to update his boxes. They're looking a little dingy.
Okay, next up is Shadow War Omega. This is a one-shot, and it is the conclusion to the Shadow War epic that's been going on, written by Joshua Williamson. A few things to say about this. So, yes, the finale, the real mastermind behind the Shadow War has been revealed, and Batman and Robin are all that's left to stop the real plans. And so, can they work together to save the day? I have a feeling that they can. This is also supposed to lead into DC's next big summer event. So, yes, summer is right around the corner. So check out Shadow War Omega.
Sounds like they're doing a lot of big summer things.
Yes.
This would have been a really good Halloween cover because it looks like they're going to carve them like a
It
jack-o'-lantern.
does. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nasty, in a good way. Like bad. Cover. Sick, dude. All right, cover B from MIKEL JANIN.
Okay, so now we're going to get to other number ones. They're just as important. They just aren't featured. That's such an oxymoron.
It is.
Okay, so beginning with, this is interesting. This is Artist Elite Primer Red. I know that's a lot of
just a
word salad. But the reason is there's a new company starting called Artist Elite. And so why is this primer red? Well, basically, this is not your traditional comic. This is going to be a preview comic with 24 pages of sketches, character concepts, and more. So you have different creators jumping on board this new company, Artist Elite, and they've come up with original characters. And this is your first chance to see what these original characters are going to look like. So this is sort of their first cameos. Consider this sort of like an ash can, I guess.
Yeah.
But as far as who's going to be in it, there's Ben Templesmith. He's doing a character or series called Dark Skulls. There's Alan Qua, he's doing Mecha Girl. There's Brett Booth doing Lost Serpent Prince. And there's like, I think 2 or 3 other creators
Big
in there.
names.
Yeah, big names in this. 6 different creators showing concept art to 6 upcoming comics they're going to do. So for $4.99, I guarantee stores are not going to know what to do about
Yeah.
this. This is going to really confuse a lot of people who order comics. So if you want one, I would definitely ask for one. I think it's going to be under ordered in some areas, possibly over ordered in other areas, because it doesn't have a story. I mean, it's just concept stuff. So anyway, this is what our show is all about, letting you know about these things. Once again, this is Artist Elite Primer Red, and it is a one-shot by its nature.
Next up is Super Freaks. You see right there with Savage Dragon on it. Very much in the spirit of Freak Force, which is a weird Image team-up book I really liked. But what is Super Freaks? Well, if you didn't know, there has been a Savage Dragon podcast going on for 10 years called the Savage Fincast. And this is actually a single one-shot issue written by fans of Savage Dragon from that podcast. And so it says it's going to be one of the wildest comics you've ever read.
Woo.
And it says it's crude, it's rude, and it's hilarious. Which, crude and rude, oh my. But it's really interesting, and it's great. Eric Larson has let fans write their own stories for this one shot. So should be very interesting if you're a fan of Savage Dragon, or if you listen to the podcast, I'm sure you already know about this and are excited about it. Looks pretty cool.
All right, and this is, I don't know if I can pronounce this. PHALANX.
It's almost like Phalanx, but
Phalanx?
It's one that I can say in my head. I feel like I say it in my head, but I cannot pronounce it, so apologies. Tell me how you would pronounce this. This is a one-shot to in honor of Image's 30th anniversary. This is created by artist and writer Jonathan Luna. So yeah, it's inspired since 1992 by the series that launched Image Comics. Someone is having a field day out there over how I pronounced Phalanx. Anyway, it is about a mercenary in modern day Los Angeles who chases a mysterious villain and finds herself going through a portal and running into a famous superhero team. So, Image, indie superhero, awesomeness. It's just a one shot, so definitely no reason not to check this out, especially if you're liking the Image 30th anniversary anthology series and all that.
especially with that cover.
That cover
It's
is
very
1992.
Absolutely.
I mean that in a great way. I mean, it brings back memories of when Image started to me. Like, it's just dead on how they got that cover right. Okay, so next up is Ms. Meow. So, I mean, with a cover like that, if you like cats, if you like awesome covers, if you like, I guess, feline-based heroes, this is probably for you. This is going to be a 6-issue miniseries. But what I like about it, I mean, just the style of the cover.
That kind of magazine.
Yeah. And, I mean, she is really playing it up there. Just the pose, everything. Very cool costume. So, to tell you the truth, I don't know a whole lot about this other than the name, the cover, the costume. But they already got me. I bet you I'll be the person reviewing this one. I want to see what Ms. Meow is all about. So, if you're interested, you may want to ask your comic shop to grab you the first issue of this 6-issue series.
Well, a little bit about it, too, is it's from a company called Merc Magazine. And they had been doing a lot of stuff on Kickstarter with their characters. And they got to be in a...
big enough to get on our show.
Yeah, to be in previews and all of that, to be distributed heavily. So it's pretty cool to see kind of a pretty independent group work their way up to actually being in comic book stores.
Sure.
Yep, it just shows how comics are thriving again, that there's enough readers to support the smaller people and rise them up. That's very cool.
Okay, next up is this book called Endangered. So what's super cool about this is I actually talked to the writer on the phone the other day. He called, wanted to give our store kind of an idea of this new book coming out to promote it, and he was super nice. So I thought I will definitely feature it on the show. So what is Endangered? This is a story about humanity has taken to the stars for survival after the Earth has been irradiated, but in humanity's attempt to de-irradiate the Earth, they have done something that has caused the insects to evolve and transform. As you can kind of get an idea on that cover, it sounds like it's going to be some giant, almost Starship Troopers-like story with humanity returning to Earth and dealing with kind of what they have created there. So, sounds super cool. Very happy to support a independent creator with their book. And he was very excited about the variant cover for this. So I was going to show this off. So usually we don't show incentives, but he was very excited about it. It's a 1 in 5 incentive, so it's not that hard. It's not going to be that expensive to get. And it is an homage of the famous Transformers cover with Shockwave standing there. I love that. It's one of my favorite Transformers covers.
Yep,
so
the writing on the wall.
Yeah, wanted to show this Transformers homage cover as well that you can ask your store about, see how you can also get it.
Yep, so to be clear, this is not an open order.
Right.
One. Stores have to order 5 regular to get this one, and so they're going to price it different one store than the next. So you really will have to negotiate with your store if you want this one.
Right.
So.
All right, next up in the Mirror War saga of Star Trek comes Mirror War SISKO, the commander of Deep Space Nine. So check this out. I've told you guys this before, but just because you may have been getting the other ones, there's no like series code for this, so you kind of need to ask for it every time. But yeah, it's Mirror War SISKO. Next installment.
Okay, so another new comic. This one's from Aftershock. It's called Astronaut Down. And so this is about somebody who's trying to become an astronaut. There's like a certain mission that he's training for. He's not selected for it necessarily. I think the book would be a downer if he didn't make it, though. So I'm betting he's going to get it.
He stays down.
Yeah, so the astronaut's name is Douglas, but the mission that he is trying out for won't send him into space. It'll actually send him hurtling into an alternate reality, or through alternate realities even. And that he has to, like, apparently the program is all set up because Earth is facing some horrific crisis that can only be solved by sending a human through alternate realities. So that's about all that is known on this. You know, it's probably one of these ones when they go to write up what it's about, it's like, oh, this is too deep. So let's just, you know, give some of the high points. And if you like sci-fi, you might want to check it out. So that is Astronaut Down #1.
Just one cover for that one, too,
Yep,
which is
just
cool.
one cover.
Okay, a new one from AWA. This is New Think #1. This is going to be a 5-issue anthology series. And you can kind of get an interesting idea on the cover what this is about. This is a very Black Mirror-inspired series. Each issue is going to be a standalone tale revolving around technology and humanity's relationship with technology and their obsession with it and their need for it. So this is by Greg Hurwitz. The art is by Mike Deodato Jr. So they said if you're a fan of Black Mirror, this tackles themes of technocrats and technology. So really cool. I like these little anthology series. You never know what you're going to get. This is our A cover for it. And then we have the Deodato Jr. variant.
And it's the animal turning into man, but then man kind of getting hunched over a computer.
Yeah,
so a different kind of animal.
That's cool. That's a good cover.
Yeah.
So this is Horror Comics #10, and even though it is #10 in the series, it does start a new story arc for Horror Comics here. So this is about Dracula in the West. You can kind of get that from the cover. Dracula, he's trying to go live a more peaceful, tranquil life, which he believes he will find out in the Old West. Of course, he does not. And why is he even looking for peace, man? You gotta suck blood for a living. Anyway,
for a living, like it's his job.
He's got a blood wallet. My blood wallet's empty.
But anyway, what he does find are problems facing the sunlight, controlling his instincts, and facing creatures and characters out of local Mayan legends. So pretty interesting. I believe this will start a new story arc. Obviously, it's part 1 for this. So I wanted to make you aware in case you like creepy stuff.
I like the idea of Dracula heading west, trying to blend in. He's got a big cowboy hat. He's like, "What's up, partners?"
Tin Gallon hat.
I mean, it's almost Gunslinger Spawn in a way.
Yeah.
So if he were a vampire, I'd believe it. All right, so now we're going to get to our next segment, cool covers and other comics. Beginning with, this is Legion of X #2. So just so you know, Legion of X #1 is not out yet. Legion of X #1 comes out May 25th, so you have not missed it.
That happens a lot this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened a lot in previous weeks, ever since all the paper problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want everybody to know you have not missed out on #1. This is the cover to #2, and then here is the Shalvey variant to #2. There's really no point in me telling you, here's what's going on in it, because, you know, it doesn't make any sense without the context of #1.
I was about to say, and like I see these covers, I'm like, I don't even know these characters yet. I'm interested.
Yeah, so if you thought you'd like Legion of X at all, you probably want to ask for it, because when they make us do our orders this early, we always end up ordering a little lower, and then half the time it's fine, half the time it's a hit. No one knew because one wasn't out, and then people miss out. So,
okay, next up is Amazing Spider-Man #3. What is key about this one is it's not only Amazing Spider-Man #3, but in legacy numbering, it is 897. So we're getting very close to Amazing Spider-Man 900. We were waiting for that. Wonder what's going to happen, and they said expect big things to be kind of ramping up in this issue. Not a whole lot of details about what that's going to be, but it's going to be something interesting. So still dealing with Tombstone. Looks like he's shredding a mask.
ripping up the mask. Yeah.
So that is our A cover. And then we have our Skrull variant by Salvador Larroca.
And that scroll is elated to be revealing that it's really him under the mask.
All right, another #2 that's releasing without the #1 having released yet. When this happens all the time, the #1's going to sell out and the #2 is going to sell out. I can guarantee it. So make sure you pre-order this. Savage Avengers #2. Conan must enlist a team of Marvel's most savage superheroes if they hope to withstand the dangers of the Hyborian Age. There you go. All right, do we have another cover? Yes, we do. We have a really cool Camel Coley teaser variant. Like that difference between the teaser and the spoiler variants. You can see the teaser, but you can't see the spoiler.
Yeah, and that's Weapon H is on the team.
Weapon H and
Agent Venom.
Agent Venom, the new Agent Venom.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also super cool
okay.
Frizzin.
I was not expecting this because beautiful Savage Avengers #2 Frizzin cover.
Cloak and Dagger. Okay, so this is Marauders #3. This is just a regular cover. They are surrounded by a group called the Kin Crimson. So that is what's going on in Marauders #3. And then we have the Baldian variant cover. I like that A cover though. That's a good one.
Okay, next up we have Action Comics Annual 2022. Look at this awesome Francavilla A cover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The colors on that are great. So this is still part of the Warworld saga, but it's kind of taking the annual to tell the parallel history of Superman and Mongol, how one became kind of the beacon of hope and the other of tyranny, and how their paths have crossed and how eventually they lead to this. And this is going to have the first part of the final ultimate battle between Superman and Mongol. So it sounds really cool. And then we have a really nice variant for this, a Steve Rude variant.
Wow.
Kind of a recreation of Action Comics #1.
Craziness, yeah, I see.
That car that's totaled.
All right, we also have a Batman annual on this week's FOC. This is Batman 2022 annual, following the events of the Abyss story arc. Batman has tasked Ghostmaker to finance and lead Batman Inc. Very interesting. We're also going to see the evolution of Clown Hunter in this. Just $5.99 for the Batman annual. And then we have the Chris Burnham variant.
Okay, so this is the cover to Thor #26. This is going to be the 4th part in the Thor Hulk crossover called Banner of War. So 4th part in this issue. And there is also the Kola Pride variant. And, you know, they don't have a lot of trade dress on these.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, if you see this in your store, just know this is the Cola Pride variant, the Thor number 26.
And the connecting.
Yes, that's right. Shaw has been doing his connecting variant. So yes, this is the Shaw connecting variant for Thor 26.
Next up, we've got Star Wars number 24, continuing. It feels like this is going to be the last part in this story arc with Commander Zara. It's going to be Commander Zara versus General Leia on a wild planet hunting each other. So really cool final kind of mano-a-mano final part of the story. This is our John Tyler Christopher, of course, action figure variant with indoor Luke.
Luke looks kind of confused.
Yeah, he is, I imagine. And then we have these really cool Japanese creator variants. This is by Yagawa.
It's really interesting.
And then there is this final one that is the Sprouse 50th anniversary variant of one of those final scenes from Rise of Skywalker with Ghost Leia and Force Ghost Luke.
All right, then we have Spawn Scorched number 6 featuring She-Spawn. And we have a few different covers to show you. This is cover A. And then we have the McFarlane cover. This, like, what is this? I mean, this is still the X-Men homage covers.
Yeah, that was Magneto's position.
Yes. And then we have the blank black sketch variant.
Okay, so this is the Tulaski variant for Firepower issue number 21. And so in this, Owen's task to assemble all the old masters is nearly complete. So once again, this is the Tulaski variant for Firepower issue number 21.
And then if you've been reading Little Monsters, this is Little Monsters number 4, the Allen variant. Do we know how many, is this an ongoing or is this?
I think it's a 6-issue miniseries.
Okay, yeah, so getting close to the end here, and this super creepy, now that the kids have gotten a taste for blood, it looks like it's going to be pretty rough now.
And this is Avatar Adapt or Die number 2. You have not missed number 1. It is not released yet, unfortunately. Don't want to say much about this. You know why. You know why. Anyway.
The trailer's out there.
Is that okay to say?
Yeah, the trailer, I think.
I don't think you can spoil telling people there is a trailer.
There's a trailer ahead of Doctor Strange. We saw it last night for Avatar 2. So anyway, Adapt or Die is really coming to effect in this title. Basically, the Na'vi children are having some symptoms of some illness, and they think it's caused by humans. So that's what's going on in issue number 2. In this series, so you have not missed number 1, but it's about to happen.
You can't spoil it, but if you mention that, you know, they're trapped in New York and there's criminals after them, oh, that's Home Alone 2. Oh, my bad.
Okay, so this is the cover to Quest Aside number 2, and this is, of course, the comic where there's the former adventurer who owns the bar, and the bar is going to get shut down by the king. So him and his staff, who are nice enough to want to keep it open, decide, hey, let's go questing to try to make enough money to keep the bar open. So for D&D fans who also like comics, this is the regular cover to Quest Aside number 2.
Okay, this is really interesting. I had to put this on here. This is how crazy of a cover this is. This is for Dynamite Never Dies number 4, and this is the Fleece. Is it Fleece or Fleeks?
Megan?
I think it's Fleeks.
Fleeks variant with a very kaiju-esque Red Sonja and Vampirella kind of Japanese movie poster design that I thought was really cool, so wanted to show that one off.
And then we have Vampirella Dracula Unholy number 6. And this is actually the finale of the story. Yeah, so Vampirella's epic love-hate affair with the Lord of Evil concludes here. So we have a couple different covers to show you. This is the cover B by Rose Besh. And then cover D by Leche. This is a really cool one, yeah.
Alright, so this is Grim Spotlight Zodiac one-shot. This is the B cover by Riviero, and in this, the character Zodiac is trying to turn over a new leaf and be a bit more of a hero. There's a guest appearance by the Black Knight, the one from the Grimm universe, and we have a C cover to this. This is the Royal variant. to that issue. And once again, it's just a one-shot.
And also wanted to show off this really nice cover for Robin Hood, the 2022 annual. This is the towel variant, and I like that they're also using the that very popular negative space designs they've been doing for covers lately. And this is a 64-page annual, kind of exploring Robin Hood's past.
All right, so now we're going to get to other printings and graphic novels.
Starting with Justice League 75 second printing. So this was the finale of the Justice League, the big death of the Justice League issue. We sold out of the A cover here in just a couple of days. Very popular. So no surprise that it's going back to a second printing here. So if you want this cover or you missed out, snatch it up.
I think this is just the cover without the acetate. I think if you peeled it back, that's what this was.
All right, in other reprints, Ghost Rider #1 is going to third print.
Wow.
So this is the third print cover for Ghost Rider #1, and they're also doing a reprint for Ghost Rider #2.
Going back to the panels, reprinting the panels.
Yep, this is the second print for Ghost Rider #2, also available to order.
Then we have this one for Spider-Gwen Gwenverse. This is the second printing of #2. And I thought this was really interesting. So the recolored Spider-Gwen on the cover is in Peter Parker color scheme. I was like, oh, that actually looks really cool.
It does.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see that come along at some point. So,
and a nice Nakayama cover.
Yes.
And then we have Grimm from Boom Studios, #1, getting a second printing. Of course, Grimm, based off the Grim Reaper, our main character is tasked with ferrying souls across to their final destination. So if you missed out, that sounds cool to you, don't miss the second print.
Well, so technically no one has missed out because Grimm comes out, I believe, this week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I could have sworn you.
So the reason is because the Alice book, Alice Ever After, had the Grimm preview at the end of it, and it's been at the end of others. So that's why it seems like that's already come out. It is not. And I read today, there was a big article on this, that the first print of Grimm has sold out on the distributor level. You know, so it doesn't mean we're not out. We haven't got ours yet. But it's sold out on the distributor level, and so they rushed it back to second print. So it looks like this is going to be a very hot series.
Cool.
So there's your warning, people. The preview looked great. I think the character design looks great. I would definitely grab an issue 1 of this and possibly ask your store for a second print, because a lot of stores aren't going to order second print. The first one isn't even here yet.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or I'm sorry, let's take Buffy out of that. The Vampire Slayer #1 is going back to second print. So this is the first Vampire Slayer series in the Buffy universe where Buffy is not the Slayer. Willow has taken over. So if you want to know why, pick it up. So if you didn't get that #1 first print, here is the second print available for order.
Yeah, and that #1 where Willow was just whited out.
Yes.
You didn't know, and they filled in the gap. Okay, next up we have, it feels like a while since we've had an issue of Star Wars Insider, but this is Star Wars Insider 211, and there's some really nice covers for this. Of course, focusing on Obi-Wan, getting ready for the show. This is the FOC Classic variant. Then we have the Virgin cover with Ewan McGregor from Episode 3. We have the Newsstand edition, of course. And we have the Previews edition with that classic A New Hope poster, trading card style.
Kind of hard to believe, but it's the 50th anniversary of Vampirella.
She's looking good.
Yeah, she's looking great. Must be the blood. Anyway, for a living, $40 for this hardcover art book. So this is going to feature lots of different covers, over 40 different covers from artists like J. Scott Campbell, Art Germ, Perillo, Alex Ross, Jenny Frism. Some really big names have worked on Vampirella. So this is an art book paying homage and tribute to 50 years of Vampirella. So $40 for a nice hardcover. I believe it's a slightly oversized as well.
Okay, then, really cool. It's crazy they're doing this. So this is the TMNT Best Of collection. So they've been putting out their Best Of Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo. They've done Shredder, they've done Splinter, they've done April, but they're actually collecting those. So this is a $29.99 collection of various different publishers and stuff, stories. So it's very weird. Usually you would think, oh, you get a trade that has a linear story in it. This one is just a big book of best of. So if you missed some of those early ones, which are now very hard to get, people really caught on to the best of a little bit later. This will collect, I believe, all the Turtles best of stories. So I'm guessing they'll probably do another one shot later that has the rest of them they're continuing to do.
I just like looking at the cover and seeing how they've caught each turtle's personality with just what they did with with what you can see of their teeth in the mouth.
Yeah.
So, Raphael, he's got his edge. Donatello, he's mainly friendly. Leonardo, he's serious. He's the leader. He has to think about, the group. And Michelangelo,
full cheesing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's cheesing.
Okay, this is Voices That Count. This is, let me pull my notes up here real quick. Oh, I got them away. Anyway, this is an anthology, a graphic novel anthology created by women for women, a bunch of different short stories for $17. It's got a really nice cover here. So, let's see. Yes, it is printed in English for the first time. It was actually a Spanish collection. So, about stories of love, life, and empowerment. So, really cool. A few different short stories for just $17.
Okay, then we have the omnibus. I mean, they're putting out these omnibuses fast. This is volume 1 of the Amazing Spider-Man Nick Spencer collection that just wrapped up not that long ago. So this is going to be $125, and it collects issues 1 through 43 of that volume of Amazing Spider-Man, plus the .hu issues there was, and the Free Comic Book Day book story that was from a couple of years ago, and a few other one-shots that tie in with this time period of Amazing Spider-Man. This is our direct market cover, and then we have, they just call it the Kindred cover, but yeah, that's just their standard cover.
This is super cool. This is Avengers by Busick and Perez Omnibus for $125. I'm going to tell you what it collects, but we are going to have 2 different covers. So this is the late 90s Avengers stories. They go up against villains like the Kree, the Legion of the Unliving, Thunderbolts, Wrecking Crew, and not to mention facing Kang and Immortus in the Destiny War. So it's going to cover all that stuff, and I think it's always so wink-wink telling when, they're reprinting stuff like Kang and all that. You know what's coming, what they're putting down the pipeline. So it collects Avengers 0 through 23 from 1998, rough cut and annual Iron Man from 1998, number 7, Captain America number 8 from 1998, Quicksilver number 10, and Avengers Forever 1 through 12. So a whole lot of stuff. I got a couple different covers. So this is the direct market variant, and then we have the new printing version for $125.
Yeah, and that's your team that brought you the Avengers Justice League crossover.
Yep, which was huge again lately.
Yeah.
Okay, so another collection they're doing is the She-Hulk by Dan Slott Omnibus. So back in 2004, Dan Slott did a She-Hulk series. It was 12 issues. That's collected in this. Then in 2005, he did another series that was 21 issues. It went for a couple of years. So this collects both of those series in their entirety. It's 824 pages, and it is $100. So all the Dan Slott She-Hulk from 2004 and 2005 series.
They pretty much collected all the She-Hulk stuff now, I think.
Yep.
In omnibus form.
Yep, and I like this, this era. She was doing her lawyering, the weird cases she had to do, just really, really good stuff. And so this is the Granov cover. And then we also have a Mayhew cover.
Awkward elevator ride.
Yep, whatever one you prefer. And that's the show for today.
That is it for today. Like Andy said, kind of a medium or so week. If we seem a little crazy, it's because tomorrow is Free Comic Day, and we are insanely busy preparing our store for it. We are expecting hundreds of people to be through our doors tomorrow. We hope that you are one of them. If you are local or within driving distance, we're going to be open at 10 a.m., giving away free comics and having a ton of fun. Weather's supposed to be really nice. So wherever you may be, we hope that you go have fun and celebrate Free Comic Book Day at your local shop. And let us know in the comments what you are most looking forward to here. Free Comic Day, without spoilers, what you thought of Doctor Strange. Just talk to us there and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.
And if you didn't watch our last video, Andy and I did a special video where we went over all the free comics. 40-some free comics. We very briefly describe what each one's about, because it's tough going in a store. You know, different stores are like, you can have 3. All right, well, 3 out of 40 different things.
Yeah.
So we tried to arm you with the knowledge. Look for that. That was our last video. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit subscribe. We're almost at 1,600 subscribers. Just a few more, and we're up another 100. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.